Alrighty then, greetings everybody and welcome back to another Honkai Star Rail video. Now, for today's video, we're actually going to be doing something a little bit different. I actually have some notes put aside because I'm pretty bad at free speech. Like, I'm very poor if you guys haven't or can't really tell from my previous videos. And that is because, as you saw in the title and maybe the thumbnail, this is going to be a very opinion and funky video because we're going to be talking about Gacha games as a whole, but more specifically HSR. I mean, it's kind of, I'm gonna be talking about HSR more towards the ending of the video than the beginning as of right now, right? And that is because should Gacha games be 18 plus? And I feel like this is a conversation that I've been having with myself for a pretty long time, but what really sparked it, like what really sparked me or pushed me to make this video is when today I was watching, excuse me, a Tectone video and a Saint Tontas, I probably pronounced his name wrong, video. That's where I, heard other people giving their opinions on this topic, and I thought, you know what, maybe I should make a comment on this. I'm obviously aware that I'm a much smaller CC, so this video won't get much traction or attention, but I still would like to make a comment on it and maybe have a conversation with you guys in the comments, right? Since also a good amount of my viewers are 13 through 18 years old, so maybe you guys could give your personal thoughts or opinions on this conversation, right? Obviously just be respectful, right? Now again, I just simply am aware how funky this conversation is or topic is, and just remember I will be giving my opinion, and what I'm going to be saying isn't, well, some of it isn't really a fact. It's mostly an opinion based. Some of it is kind of factual, right? And if you don't know what an opinion is, because some people in the gacha space are very low IQ'd, let me tell you the Google definition of what an opinion is: a view or judgment formed about something not necessarily based on a fact or knowledge. So it's what I'm about to do. This is what I'm about to do, right? So as per usual, feel free to discuss in the comments. Just be as respectful as possible. And without further ado, let's get this video started already, shall we? So obviously, in my personal opinion, gacha games actually should, but at the same time, shouldn't-ish kind of. It's very dependent on the game, and I'm gonna get to that more towards the ending. I just want to talk about the word gacha, what it means in Japan and in the English term. And the English term is a bit funky, so please do forgive my pronunciation because I'm a little retarded, right? But gacha, or refers to gashapun or gacha gemu in Japan. Gashapun specifically refers to vending machines that you would find in like a mall that you just put 25 cents in and it gives you a little toy, a capsule. And gacha gemu describes video games that use a similar mechanic like loot boxes, right? Now, me and my girlfriend were actually talking about this because I wanted her personal opinion as an outsider because, well, she doesn't play gacha games, right? She's actually, I don't think she's ever played gacha games for my entire decade of knowing her, right? And she said that it's whatever. She doesn't necessarily think that it should because, similar to the little capsules, you as a kid or even as an adult sometimes, well, more so a kid, those are meant for kids. When a kid asks their parents, or they pull out a 25 cent from their pocket or find it on the floor and use it, obviously those toys aren't guaranteed, but they just want to see and want to get it, have a chance. But at the end of the day, it's gambling is still gambling. But obviously, people aren't going to be saying or writing and saying that, oh, this should be removed from malls because it's endorsing gambling from kids. Kids don't think that much. They're too dumb to think about that, or they just don't have the knowledge to think about that, right? And it's very similar to gacha games actually. So whatever. Now if you actually look at the English definition of gacha, it's actually pretty funky because when you look up gacha on YouTube, like gacha definition, English version, or just gacha definition, gacha, it isn't a word by itself, kinda ish, right? You could probably find it. I just did it, and I'm not gonna go above and beyond for research over a topic as goofy as this, right? Gacha is kind of always going to be tied to the word gacha games, right? It doesn't have a word by itself, as I said prior. And it gets like actually a lot worse when you look up gacha games definition, because it's literally just a different way of saying you're gambling but in a video game. It's pretty bad, right? Excuse me, I just burped. Okay, I burped twice. The one was the inside burp, the second one was the outside burp. So with all this being said, how come I also said it shouldn't be 18 plus? And I'm gonna be honest before I get into this, I am, and I will admit, I'm leaning more towards it being 18 plus than not for specific games, especially Hoyoverse games, because Hoyoverse games are definitely more lean towards kids, right? And my main reasoning is, well, well, these games, as I said, are more towards a younger audience. I'm repeating myself here, but again, more so Hoyoverse games with Paimon having a squeaky voice, March 7th having a squeaky voice. I actually have no clue about HSR, no, Honkai Impact Third at all. I've never played it. I heard it's ass, so whatever. And with ZZZ, ZZZ is kind of like the auto and out. There's always going to be an auto and out of a group of stuff, right? But ZZZ is kind of a interesting one because it's not as bad yet, right? But you could tell that these games are more catered towards kids with the animations, the color. What would the word be for, I guess, like the color palette of the games, the characters, and all that? You could put games like those to a game like Wuwa, where it's a lot more darker, right? And you know, a lot of, I don't want to offend some people, but a lot of Hoyoverse players don't like Wuwa for whatever reason, right? They always say the same thing. Oh, the 1.0 story is bad, and then it's like, bro, what? That was like a year ago, right? But the reason why this is stopping me from saying that is because a younger kid or a teenager that doesn't understand the value of money or just the fundamentals of the game, they don't see it as a gacha. I mean, as gambling. They just play the game. Ooh, funny character. I want that character. Gimme, gimme, gimme. And then, you know, just buy, right? Oh, mom, give me your credit card or something, right? They play the game and they have fun, I guess, right? You know, some adults are in that category too, which is pretty depressing. But whatever. They just play it. They don't really think too much about it. And whatever, right? But again, at the end of the day, gambling is still gambling if you know you're doing it or if you don't know you're doing it. That's why it's like, oh yes, but you know, if I kill someone as a kid and I don't understand the value, or not the value, if I don't understand the concept of murder or death or what I just done, you know, I should still be charged with an adult, because at the end of the day, that other person does, and that other person is no longer alive, and people around me do, and everybody around me is saying, holy crap, you just took another life. And now that other person's family is mourning and depressed because they lost someone beloved to them. And what is the judge going to be? Oh, well, in the child's defense, they don't understand what they just did, so we're going to let them go scot-free. It's like, no, obviously not. And I know that's a very extreme example, but I need to use that extreme example just so you guys could understand, you know, the concept or the idea behind this video, right? But obviously for a more mature, younger audience, for a kid or teenager that understands what they're playing, understands the fundamental of the game and the value of money, maybe they'll have a funner time playing the game or not. It's just, again, it's very dependent. That's why this topic is very funky. Some teenagers or kids will actually have a, I mean, I'm saying kids as in like 12 to lower, and teenagers as teenagers, right? You know, 19 is still technically a teenager. I'm still technically a teenager, but I'm 19, turning 20. So do with that information with what you want, right? But it's still like, you know, those demographic of people, those category of kids and teenagers that do understand. Obviously, they might have a much more funner time playing the games than some adults, because I mean, whatever, bring free to play could be fun, because at the end of the day, some games actually allow you, and that's why I said it's very dependent, because we have games like HSR where, no fucking joke, 3.2 live stream, one of the main things they needed to get to just say out there is that, hey, that pop-up, the top-up thing, we're refreshing it if you ever bought or wasted money. Like they're literally just indirectly endorsing it. They know what they're doing, right? But they're not flat out saying buy, gamble, 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 right? But I mean, they might as well be saying that, you know, because let's say you're someone God, I'm so bad with words, but let's just say you're before I actually continue, this is how you could tell when I'm reading the script, and you can tell when I'm free speeching, such as right now. But let's just say you're not guaranteed someone, you're 50-50ing it, right? And you waste $100 because Hoyoverse said in the 3.2 live stream that, oh, we're resetting the top up or whatever. So you're like, holy shit, you know, I have a greater chance, quote unquote. So you buy it, and then you don't get what you want, or yeah, you just don't get what you want. You don't get the character, you don't get the LC, you're just not guaranteed it, and you don't get it. What is that? It's gambling. It's gambling. You're spending money, risking, you know, a chance, opportunity to get something, and you could have wasted that money on something else, you know, something of more importance in life, like food or something, you know. I mean, her gas, it's expensive nowadays, right? But it's just an example that's literally endorsing gambling. But obviously people aren't, I mean, they're aware of that, but kids aren't at the same time. Kind of, it's a little confusing. But for games like Hoyoverse, that's like literally endorsing gambling. You don't see games like Woo doing that, you know, like, oh, buy basically, you know, just fucking buy, bro. Like it's like, this conversation is really funky, and that's why I don't want this video to be too long, and I didn't plan on like a full like essay. Like, my Word document is only like 500 words, so I could give you an idea of how far I wanted this video to go, because I don't want this video to be too long, because I'm not really good at free speech or talking for too long, because I talk to study more and I get off topic very easily, like I'm doing right now actually. But at the end of the day, if a kid knows how to gamble better than an adult, that doesn't mean they should be allowed in a casino, right? That's just an example. And obviously, one of the main reasons why gacha games are 18 plus is for sponsors. Like, let's just all be honest, we know why. Sponsors, well, some people know why. If you don't, well, that's probably one of the main reasons. Sponsorships, you know, a harder chance or opportunities to get sponsorships when your game is 18 plus than would be if your game wasn't. But whatever, you know, money. That's exactly what Hoyoverse and other, you know, gacha game developers or teams love. But I mean, it's whatever. At the end of the day, a gacha game is very, very much so predatory, and just making it worse isn't really the best route to go. I really lost myself in towards the ending of this video, but that's suspected when I'm fucking free speeching. I suck at free speech. Holy. Well, with all that being said, if you like this type of content, please do consider liking, commenting, and subscribing, and joining the Celery Army. I do have a couple of videos like this in the future. I do want to make a video explaining why I am a hypocrite, or maybe a YouTube short. I might just do a video just for it could be there, big, bold, I'm a hypocrite, right? But yeah, as per usual, if you like this type of content, let me know. And yeah, see ya. Thank you so much for the views.